What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Tony Bruce TV. I'm your host, Tony Bruce, and today we're going to talk about my top 7 tips for songwriting right after the intro. And just like that, we back. I'd like to welcome everybody to another episode of Tony Bruce TV. I'm your host, Tony Bruce. You can follow me on Instagram at Tony Bruce TV and on Facebook at Tony Bruce Music. Now, today's episode, this is going to be for my songwriters and my musicians, and these are just my top 7 songwriting rules. Now, these are just my top 7. You may have your top 7, or if you have any that you want to put in, like if you have your top 7, leave that in the comment section. And we can share that with the community because, any information is helpful. So my top 7 songwriting rules, in my opinion, is number 1, when I write a song, I make sure that I give the listener something within the first 15 seconds of the song being played. Nowadays, information comes at such a rapid rate, you don't want to have people waiting around. So pretty much the attention span of the listener is much shorter now. So I seek to draw in the listeners quick. So for me, I want to try to draw the listener in quick, like I said, within the first 15 seconds of the song. And this could be anything. It could be like some talking, some ad-libs, maybe a pre-hook, maybe a little bit of the main hook, just a little quick melody to talk it out type thing, but just not dead space within the first 15 seconds. So that's my first rule, and my top 7 songwriting rules is I seek to entertain the listener within the first 15 seconds of the song being played. So my number 2 rule, songwriting rule, is I try to bring in my chorus before 40 seconds of the song. So after the song being played, I give you something within that first 15 seconds. And then within the first 40 seconds of the song, you've already heard the hook. Now, the hook, some people call it the hook, the chorus, different terminology, but it's pretty much the catchy part of your song. That repetitive melodic part of your song. That's the part, that's going to be repetitive, and it's going to increase the chance of it sticking in your listener's ear by giving them the hook within the first 40 seconds. You can give it to them more times throughout the song. So that's my second rule. My second songwriting rule is to bring the chorus in. Bring the chorus in, within 40 seconds of the song being played. So my third rule in my songwriting is going to be I like to listen to a variety of different music from different genres and different eras. This gives me a larger pool of creative inspiration to draw from, when I'm writing songs. Instead of just listening to all the music that I like, I try to get in the habit of listening to at least one song I've never heard before every day. I mean, you can listen to, there's so much music out there to where you can listen to a song, I think like every hour or every minute or something like that, for like the rest of your life or something like that, and you still won't listen to all the music that was ever made. So the goal is to have a larger pool of creative inspiration to draw from when you're creating your music. Instead of just listening to one genre, listen to all of them. It gives you a wider view, a different perspective on maybe the similar subject that you're talking about or you're writing about. So that's my number 3 rule when it comes to songwriting tips. I listen to a variety of music. So number 4 in my top 7 songwriting tips, songwriting rules, getting tongue twisted, is record. So I don't just write songs, I record so I can, so at one point I kept recording so I could develop my style and my sound. But even now, by recording, even if I'm just laying something down in the house, it gives me the ability to experiment, see what works, what doesn't work. A lot of times discover a different melody that you didn't think about in the beginning. But by recording, you're practicing on experimenting with your vocals and practicing on, different rhyme styles or different deliveries, whether you're a singer or a rapper, But record. Just record is going to help you develop your style and help you get more comfortable with experimenting different things. So that's my top 4. Not top 4, but that's my 4th songwriting tip. So number 5 is, like I was saying earlier, experimenting with the song structure. So every song I used to make every song the way it was like verse, hook, verse, hook. So it used to be like the same format in a lot of my music. So once I started, mixing it up and experimenting, started adding bridges, pre-hooks, that type of thing, it kind of opened up doors for different possibilities to where every song doesn't have to be so wordy. And a lot of times people are not really even listening to the words anyway until like the 7th or the 10th time they've heard the song. Up until that point, they're really only listening to how dope the beat is. The beat make them feel a certain way, evokes a certain energy, and what that chorus sound like. That chorus, that catchy part of your song, that's what people gonna remember first before they come back, and then they start listening to what you're saying in the verses. So I like to experiment with song structure and find creative ways to deliver the same message. So that's my 5th rule when it comes to my top 7 songwriting tips, is experimenting with song structure. Number 6 in my top 7 songwriting rules is going to be write or either freestyle every day. This will keep your skills sharp. And when I say write or freestyle every day, when I say write, now I'm not saying sit down and write a whole song every day. What I'm saying is you can sit down and write at least 4 bars every day. That's like 2 sentences. So you sit down and at least write 2 bars or maybe 4 bars every day. If you write like 4 bars every day within a week, you damn near got a song. That's like a song a week. And that's on the low end. You're gonna have those days where you're gonna sit down and you're just gonna feel it that day. You're gonna be able to sit down and knock out 2 16s, but do even rap 16s anymore? Almost now, like every verse is like 8 bars, maybe 12. A lot of times 4. Then that hook gonna come back. But like I said, write or either freestyle every day. This will just be like you practice, and look at it like if you're playing basketball and you want to get better you want your jump shot to get better. So that means you need to be practicing or working on your jump shot every day. Same thing when it comes to writing. You want to sit down and write every day. Doesn't have to be massive. Like I said, some days you're gonna feel it more than others. But as long as you sit down and discipline yourself to sit down and write at least 2 sentences a day, which is just 4 bars, you'll be, eventually you're going to pick up momentum, and you're going to be sitting down writing like 8, and it's going to be 12, and you're going to keep going. But that's number 5 where I'm at. Yep, that's number 5 in my top 7 songwriting rules is experiment with song structure. Oh, sorry about that, y'all. That's number 6. Number 6 in my top 7 songwriting rules is write, and I either freestyle every day. And when I say freestyle, I'm not freestyling in front of a crowd. It just be myself in the lab, with the music on, and just kind of just exercise like that to myself. But that's writing or I freestyle every day. So I probably do more writing every day than freestyling. So, but I at least write, 4 to 8 bars a day. All right, so my 7th and my final rule when it comes to my songwriting is I always go for writing the hook first. This probably should have been number 1, but when I listen to a beat or I listen to a track or whatever, if I can't find a hook for it off gate, or if no type of melody comes to me from within the first couple seconds to listen to the song, first 30 seconds, I don't even waste my time. No matter how dope of a verse I can write for this song, that don't matter in most cases if the hook ain't grabbing the audience. You're gonna have your diehard fans, of course, that they're coming for the verse, but it's like a select few. Most people, before you can even break the ice, so to speak, for them to even give you a chance to listen, it's gonna be that beat and that hook that's gonna draw them in first. So that's why I always go for writing the hook first, finding that melody. Like I said, if I can't find a melody for the beat of the track, then I just don't even mess with it. But that's my 7th rule. So we're gonna go over my top 7 songwriting rules for when I'm writing songs. And like I said, these are just my top 7. You may have your top 7. So if you have yours, just like I said, put that in the comment section. But here go my top 7. I'm gonna go ahead and go down the list. Number 1 is I entertain the listener within the first 15 seconds of the song. No long intros. Number 2 is I bring the chorus in within the first 40 seconds of the song. Number 3 I listen to a variety of music from different genres and different eras to give me a larger creative pool of inspiration. Number 4, I record. Don't just write the songs. I go and I record. Even if it's just on a little small record, I record to listen to myself and develop my style further. Number 5, I experiment with the song structure. So I try purposely not just to give you verse, hook, or the same format over and over. Number 6, I write or I freestyle every day. Like I said, most times I usually just write every day. It's a couple sentences, it's whatever I'm feeling. Just kind of write every day. And number 7 is I always go for writing the hook first. If I can't find a hook to a beat, I don't care how dope it is, it just ain't for me. The beat ain't talking to me. It's just like my songwriters and my musicians know when you hear music, it can be dope, but it's just a lot, sometimes it's just not for you. You probably hear someone else rapping on it or singing on it or doing something to it or whatever, but it's just not for you, even though it's dope. And then you have those beats that you hear and immediately, it kind of grabs you, like it talks to you, and you know exactly what kind of melody you need to put on it. Those are the beats you need to fuck with. Unless you're doing a feature and someone pays you to kind of get on a beat that you ain't really rocking like that, only make music on beats or whatever that you really feeling. It's gonna always come out much better. But that's my top 7 rules for myself when it comes to songwriting. Like I said, if y'all have y'all top 7, put that in the comment section. That'll be real helpful for the community. If you have anything in particular you would like me to cover, just let me know in the comment section. I drop videos twice a week, so subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can get all the latest content I release and take your career to the next level. My name is Tony Bruce. Find me on Instagram on Tony Bruce TV and on Facebook at Tony Bruce Music. As always, y'all be safe, make moves, not excuses, and I'm out.
I think you're moving too fast, check your dad.